Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you how I modified, emphasis on modified, the center part of this viral flower coaster. I showed you guys in a short a little while ago that I made these coasters for my sister's baby shower, and in the pattern, the original pattern, they used bigger yarn that I wanted to use for mine, so I had to modify the center part. And when I put out this little video, the tutorial for the modification was requested a ton. So I knew I had to make it, but I really want to make that clear from the get-go. This is not my pattern. So I'm going to link down below the original pattern so you guys can go and follow the actual pattern for the leaves and the flowers. But the only thing that I'm going to show you in this video is the center part that I modified. So if you guys want to make it with thread just like I did, you're going to be able to follow my pattern for the center part and then go on to the other video, the original one from the creator of the actual flower coasters, to make the flower and the leaves around the coasters and eventually put them all together to create a little bouquet like this. It is so cute. It is really, really pretty, and it went viral last year, I think. So I knew I had to make them at some point. And you'll see that I used different thread than this one. It's not going to be the beige one because this one is actually smaller. I'm also going to put down below everything that I used for these ones, but the thread in the video is purple, you're going to see, and it's a little bit bigger, and it was easier for me to film with that one so you guys can see better instead of the smaller one. So follow the tutorial, but use whatever yarn you want. Just note that if you're using a bigger one that I'm actually using for these ones, it's gonna come out bigger. So this is really a tutorial for this specific size of thread, the beige one that I used originally. But as long as you're using the same size thread as I am, you can use whatever color you want and make them as colorful and as personalized to you as you want. So I'm gonna stop babbling now and let's jump right into the tutorial.
I'm going to be using Aunt Lydia's crochet thread in size 3, but the one I used for the coasters is linked down below. And with this specific thread, I'm using a 3mm hook and a pair of scissors to cut the thread once we're done. To start off, you're going to create a magic ring, and you can do it however you like. I like doing a double magic ring, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing a slip stitch just to secure my ring, and in this magic ring, and this will count as our first row, we're going to do 12 double crochets to start. And once you're done, you want to secure your magic ring. And since I did a double magic ring, I have 2 loops that I have to pull on one after the other. And once that's nice and secure, you want to do a slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet you did into your magic ring to bring it all together. For the second row, you want to start by chaining 3, and this will always count as our first double crochet. So the chain 3 counts as my first double crochet for row 2. And in row 2, we're going to do 2 double crochets between each double crochet from row 1. So here I did the first one. I'm going to do a second one in the same first space and chain 1 after. So you always want to do 2 double crochets in the next space. So in between 2 double crochets from row 1. So not in the stitch, really in between the 2 stitches, and then chain 1 after that. So 2 double crochets in the next space and chain 1. Once you arrive near the end of the second row, and this one can be easily missed, I'm doing here the last double crochet from the last space, chain 1, and you want to do 1 last double crochet in the next space that's going to go in pair with the 3 chain that we did in the beginning of the row. Then slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 and close up this row. To start row 3, you're going to slip stitch into the next chain 1 space like I'm doing here, just to bring your yarn into that chain 1 space. And then you're going to chain 3, just like we did for the second row. That will count as your first double crochet. And then in that same chain 1 space, you're going to do 2 more double crochets. After those 2 double crochets, you chain 1. So for row 3, we're going to do 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space, then chain 1. So like I'm doing here, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and I'm going into the next chain 1 space and doing 3 more double crochets and then chain 1, and you're going to do that all the way until you've completed row 3. Once you're done with row 3, you want to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we did at the beginning of the row to close up this row. For row 4, you're going to start by chaining 3 just like we did for the other rows. And since this counts as a double crochet, you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, not into the same stitch where you just did your chain 3 on top of. And for row 3, you're going to repeat all around the same pattern. It's going to be 3 double crochets into each double crochet from each little group that we made in row 2, followed by 2 double crochets into each chain 1 space. So like I'm doing here, 1 double crochet in 1 double crochet, the second in the second double crochet, the third in the third double crochet, and then 2 double crochets together in the chain 1 space like I'm showing you here. And just like you did for the other rows, you want to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 from row 3 to bring it together. This is what it should look like. It's starting to look super nice. And now for row 4, you want to start by chaining 3. And this counts as our first double crochet. So you want to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches, just like I'm doing here. So we'll have 4 double crochets total. And then you want to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So the repeat for row 4 will be 4 double crochets followed by 1 increase. This one is getting pretty long, so I'm just showing you here that you want to repeat that all the way around row 4, and I'm going to meet you back here once I'm done with row 4. Once you're done, you want to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3, just like we did for the other rows. And to start row 5, which will be our last row for the base of this coaster, you want to slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 3. Then in the same stitch, you're going to do 2 more double crochets followed by 1 chain, and you're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So this will be our repeat for the last row, which will be chain 1 here, skip the next 3 stitches like I'm showing you here, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets into the next following stitch. So again, 3 double crochets into the same stitch, chain 1, and skip the next 3 stitches. You're going to repeat this all around until you're done with row 5. To finish off, slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 from the same row, just to close up your work. And then you're going to secure this and cut your yarn, and we're done with the base of the coaster. And you're done. I hope you liked this tutorial and that it helped you if you wanted to use a smaller thread instead of the bigger yarn that's in the original tutorial for the flower coasters. As I said before, I linked the tutorial down below so you guys can go and complete the coasters with the original tutorial for the flower coasters. You'll just have to skip to the part where you have to add the leaves and the flowers around the coaster. I hope you enjoyed and this tutorial helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!